Going to do a video here. This video is for, there was a mod created today or yesterday, can't remember, and you can see this from here what this is doing. This is not normal. You can see how big that wall is. Basically there's a limit when building structures based off of your carpentry skill. There was a mod created that eliminates the skill limit, and that's not the best way you want to go about putting this on your server. You want it to be limited, and you want it to follow the skill set. The problem is once it hits 99, it's just a trick of way of playing with the code and writing it in there. So if it goes over 99, or if basically what you want is the player to be able to have to earn this. If you're a GM, you can set your skills to 99 and go ahead and do this, but basically you want your players on your map to have to earn this skill, and then once they reach 99 carpentry, then they can plan a structure this huge. So basically the best way of going about it is like, and I'll show the code here in a second, but what you want to do is set your limit, and you want these checks to happen. So it'll be like, okay, your regular carpentry skill is going to play an effect until you hit 99. Once you hit 99, then you want to be able to build bigger. So for that perk, you got to work your way up, and the best way to do that is, we'll go into code here real quick. There are two methods you got to change in method structure, and basically it's just two lines of code that I put in. It's the same code on both methods. So basically here it is. This right here is what your code looks like before the method is added, or before the method gets changed. Basically it goes down through here and has enough skill to expand structure, and then we got has enough skill to contract the structure. This method is called whenever you're building it. This method here is called whenever the building's built and finished and finalized. This method is called when you want to add to it, and it does the check. It's the same method but called two different ways. So what we're going to do is add this piece of code, and basically the original code jumps down and says if you have no carpentry skill, then basically you get this message. If you have carpentry skill and your limit 1 is greater than your carpentry.getReal knowledge, which the get real knowledge is your actual carpentry skill at that time, whatever your carpentry skill is at that moment. And if it's limit 1 is greater than your carpentry skill, then you're going to get this right here, and which is you are not skilled enough in carpentry to build this size of structure. Else it'll return true, and it'll play this one right here, which will allow you to plan your structure. And what we're going to end up doing, excuse me, I really should sleep more. We're going to put in an if statement, and we're going to say else if your carpentry.getReal knowledge is greater than, or if it's equal to 99. Because if we say greater than 99, it has to be 99.1 or 01 or so forth. But I don't want to do that. I want it to be 99 itself, which is what it's equal to, and then greater than 99. So we do the greater, we use the operator greater than equal to, and then I'm going to say and limit 1 is less than 500. Now the structure you've seen was 300. I went and changed this again because I want my structure to be able to be built bigger, up to 500. But basically what we're doing here, we're creating an if statement, and and both conditions have to be true. That's why we use the and operator right here. We're using the and operator. If we use the or operator, basically it's going to say if this is true or this is true, then we're going to allow you to build a structure. And then it just makes this down here useless, and then you're using your skill gain is useless. So I mean, I don't even have to add this right here, this last line. If I'm going to do that, all I got to do is just add this line right here, and it'll do it on its own. But we want another condition to be met true too. So we want to say if it's 99 equal to 99 or greater than 99, then and the limit is less than 500, which means you have less than 500 in the walls and floors and all, then we want to be able to plan the structure. If we go over that 500 limit, the 500 limit becomes false and it's no longer true. So then it will no longer play that. It'll no longer use this if statement. It'll jump down to the next if statement, and it'll go ahead and pop this out right here and tell you can't build. And this is the the best way to do it, and that's in has enough skill to expand structure and has enough skill to contract structure. And we're putting the same else if statement in the same spot. These methods are identical. They just have two they're the same method, they just have two different method calls. And one's for when you're planning, and one's for when it's not finalized and you're trying to add to the structure. But they're the same thing, so we have to change both, and we have to add this line of code to both. So we're going to add this line here on this one, and we're going to add it here at the same spot in between this if statement and this else if statement. I'll let you look at the code here for a minute. Whew. Alrighty, that's pretty much it. And what that'll do is it'll allow you to go in here, and it'll allow you to build as big as you want based on how much you set. And you got to realize how the wall count is. If you're not familiar with the wall count and building structures, you count each wall and the floor tile. So each wall is like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then if we had a wall right here, that'd be 5. That's why in the code here you see this limit 1 is equal to 5. That's why it says limit 1 is equal to 5, because it counts that. If you were to change that to 1, it wouldn't give you a big enough structure, trust me. It wouldn't be as big as you want to go. So basically it's the other way you want to run it. You want to leave that at 5 and just come in here, and you got your 4 walls in this, and that's 5, and then you go to the next one. So you have two floor tiles, that's 2, and then 5 walls, that's 7. The next one, that's 10, 13, 15, 16. I need to wake up. And so forth. So basically there's 300 in this wall total. And what you want to do is set it to however big you want it. I did the long wall like this, so it uses the most walls and the most floor tiles. If I did big square, open squares, it wouldn't be, it'd take me, have to build a bunch of stuff in here. It was just easier just to wrap a wall around and show how long you get it. The default would normally go from here to probably about right somewhere around in here would be the default. That's about 100 tiles. Between all the walls and the floor tiles, it's about 100. And this right here gives us our extra 200 on top of that. So that's why I had it set to 300 when I built this, and I got it set to 500, but I don't have it saved in. I haven't switched the method class file over yet, so it won't let me. But as you can see here, once we hit 300 and you try to add to the building, oh my gosh, I must have done it. Yeah, yeah, that's right, my bad. But anyway, as you can see, you can go over that. When I switched it, it allows me to go over it now. I forgot I dragged that file over. I hate doing that. I like to plan the building first so I don't get all those extra little structures when you're adding on to a building. Um, but yeah, as you can see now, I can go over that 300 limit that I had, and I can go up to 500 so I could build and keep adding on this building. But that's pretty much it. Got any questions? Let me know.